Have a story to tell? I believe you. Ghost, cryptids, the unknown. Let's talk about it. This is my GhostCast. Welcome back to the next episode of my GhostCast. My guests, Genny, Anastasia, and Angela. All three are the Ghost Hunting Beauties. I finally got to get all three of them for an interview. And let's just say this, not only are those ladies courageous, but they're funny, witty, and I had a blast on this interview. Stay tuned. Don't be scared.
Yep, the hospital was filled with stuff like that, very odd smells that you knew, almost as if death was present.
No, there was
yeah.
there was death. There was death.
Yeah,
right there, currently,
right
there in the moment.
Like I said, strange smells. These are things that's hard to explain to people that's not there because these girls are perfectly sane. Like there was no alcohol involved. We were all tired, of course, but there was. The experience had many, many witnesses who were not part of our crew. Like we had other crews coming in to experience things. And that was one of the, I can give one behind the scenes spoiler because it doesn't make it on the show because I didn't know it was going to happen. So like I said, I scout these locations. It used to be just by myself, but now that we're in season 2, we know bring a friend. Mm-hmm. So we went into the priest's room. And the priest is the one that has the rumors of doing terrible things to the women there. And I don't know when my abilities will kick in or not. That's why they say, oh, if you're psychic, how come you didn't win the lottery? And I was like, oh, okay, so I can just conjure numbers or just see the future for everybody. It doesn't work that way. My abilities will kick in or not kick in. Mm-hmm. So places like this that are already have a supernatural vibe to it, sometimes the things will kick in. If I'm around other psychics or mediums, it amplifies. That's why I was terrified to go to the Psychic Fest because I thought, oh, crap. And it's like, it's going to be overwhelming for me. It gets to be like...
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I go down into the priest's room and I see him. I see him just like I'm seeing you. Very clear. And so I stop and I take a deep breath. And because you're not just seeing a spirit, like, oh, like on TV or on these movies. He's sweating. And I'm like, okay, you sweat in the afterlife?
He was true human-like. I mean,
it looked like just like I'm looking at you guys. He was sitting there, and then he was sweating, and it looked like he had a fat neck, and it was almost like a frog. Ugh. He was just one of those that you...
my ex.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Very similar.
Right?
I know what you're talking about. Very similar.
Frog? Yes, you are right.
Sorry. Poor feature.
That's disgusting.
So it was basically, and you could just, you could see, so it was such bad vibes. And another guy comes in and I don't realize he has any abilities. And he goes, you see that guy? And I went, we're all seeing this? And it's like, no, only 2 of us. But that's how I knew he didn't tell us he had abilities. And this guy, he goes, I see him. And I'm like, oh, let's turn on the ghost box. I need to see, because like I said, if I'm going to put my girls down in this room and he's going to grab them or hurt them or do something, they're not going to be here. We'll be outside of it or we'll bless it or do something. So I turn on my ghost box and he says one of the crew members' names and then his occupation is very specific. So it wasn't like a radio wave advertising for something. It says his name and occupation. And so I go, ha, he's coming for you. And he's like, no, I'm coming for you. And I went,
what?
He's like, who? Who are you talking to? There's a room full of people. And he starts mocking me, like my voice. And I went, oh, I know you're not just making fun of me. And I start getting mad. This has never happened to me. Like what she said, be careful your mental health status before you go onto a site. Like I was doing fine. I didn't have any problems. And suddenly I'm mad. And I'm really mad. And I go, what do you mean you're fucking coming from? I was cussing and they're all looking at me. And I was like, well, fucking come at me then. You know, it's like, you're gonna come. I'm ready to fight. And I had a beanie on my head pulled down. You see the hand go onto the beanie and throw it. and it gets tossed across the room. And I said, don't you touch me. And I am cussing. And I was like, and I went, James, said my husband, screaming because I know I need to be removed. I'm so mad I can't be removed until my husband comes to get me because he's never seen me that mad. And I was like, James. And then he goes, James. And they all go, oh. And he hears everybody saying, oh. And he runs around the corner and he grabs me and pulls me out. And I'm instantly fine. And I went, what the hell just happened? And they go, are you okay? And I was like, no. I'm never stepping foot back in that room again. I was like, I had this sense that he had hurt people and hurt women. And I'm like, I'm not putting my ladies in there. No, I'm not doing this. No. And I was like, let him come at me. And this ended up expanding into this person following me, this person coming at me. Like, I mean, Yorktown, our season finale has possessions, like I said, that was off camera. Books were flying off the shelf. Like, my husband saw that one and he's our resident skeptic. Like, you would have to really show him something because he'll say, no, it's this. No, it's that. Like, he goes all logical and then into spiritual. Now, if I say I see something, he does believe me, but we had witnesses. Other paranormal teams were a witness to that. So that's
when everything started going.
Yorktown has not left us. A lot of the ladies will not even say the word Yorktown. We call it Y-Town, or they just won't say it. Because it followed, I had to have 3 different people to exercise my house to get it out. It wouldn't leave.
I think like the mental health and like the energy that you have in real life really goes hand in hand with this kind of stuff. Like if you are maybe not, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because like I know there's times where I'm not very like mentally strong. Like you put a cake in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. You put a bottle of wine in front of me, I'm gonna drink it.
Right.
And like so if you have personality traits that are maybe a little bit you know harder, like you know with your impulse control or whatever, like maybe you're negative, like maybe you're just in general kind of a negative person, it's probably like not the best to mess with that kind of stuff. And that's kind of why I was talking about the apartment complexes, because when you have that kind of negative energy, it attracts more negative spirits is what I think. And so with the negative stuff that happened at Yorktown before the deaths of the priest and everybody else who was there, because of I think like what they were putting out is why that place has such a bad vibe and why we all got such bad energy. And so that's why I think it's so important to just, I'm going off on a tangent here.
No,
just
you're
be
right.
nice. Like be nice, watch your energy, watch the energy of the people around you, because you're like, it doesn't go away. Energy doesn't die. Like it stays here. And it's going to affect generations of people after you. And so just do your best to be a good person and do your best to be positive. And maybe
I love that.
Be nice. You know?
Right. That's what she's 100% right. Like,
yeah, you really are.
Right. And that's why a lot of these places, we don't go to dark places generally. Yorktown was one that I was challenged with. Like I actually had I was watching Yorktown videos and I kept hearing, go to Yorktown, go to Yorktown. Even my mother-in-law told me, go to Yorktown. And I was like, how do you know about this place? She goes, I see this is where you got to go. I had cat balls set up that was in my office and I forget they're there. So they all went off at the same time whenever I said I guess I'm going to Yorktown. It's like,
that's a place that you don't even, I mean, we don't want to go back to.
Nope, I'll never go back. That was the deal that was made with the spirits and the dark entities that followed me home, is that I had to make a promise to multiple different priests, priestess, and those from Wiccan to Catholic. I mean, that broad of a spectrum we went to, from Taoist, Wiccan, Catholic, that broad of a spectrum, to figure out that they all three from different beliefs and backgrounds saw the exact same thing. So that's how I also, trust but verify. I verified of what it was, and then it's some kind of thing like just like Anastasia said, it's a dark energy that was there long before we got there, and it's going to come after who's going through some shit. It's going to go after, like, it knew it could poke at me, and it got that reaction out of me, because you shouldn't have been able to get that reaction out of me, but I was tired, I was hungry, long trip. Our trip started off with crazy stuff happening.
Well, and it affected not just only you, but a few other people, and it came home with us. So It was just, your town definitely.
Right. So we won't go back. We won't say for other people not to go.
It was great.
It was
but
an
no, we
amazing
won't go back. Like,
experience.
honestly, it was probably one of the more fun ones I've had.
Right.
Sorry to use that word,
right?
But no, we wouldn't go back either.
Right.
So that's,
Right. It's not like we wouldn't try a sanitarium or another place.
I would do it over again if I had the choice, but I wouldn't go probably maybe go a second time.
I want to go.
Maybe
I do.
It's gonna follow them next
Yes.
time. I'll be like, y'all don't bring that shit here, because it took me through 3 different priests and priestess to get that out, including an exorcism on my house. And I was like, oh, luckily I was not charged for it. Like, they actually offered. They called me and found me and knew that's what was happening, and I don't know how that happened either. It was a famous exorcist found me.
That's awesome.
And said, I know you've got something at your house. And I was like, how the hell? Like, I guess God spoke to him or something spoke to him, and he came to me. But eventually he said we were all evil for ghost hunting. So then, yeah, I had to get that. It's like, I don't think any of my girls are evil. We're having a good time.
Not intentionally. We're just stupid.
Oh, God. But that's basically my ghost story of what happened on the set. And I was so sad that we weren't filming, but I mean, nothing is staged with us. Like, we usually, whoever runs the property or different things, we offer them to stay. We've had people who are heavy skeptics, even with their property, and they've witnessed things for season 2, and they go, when they're seeing it, and I'm like, you see, there's no camera tricks, there's no editing here. You're literally watching what happens. That's why I like what we do. Like, it's not going to be as scary as some of these shows, but we're not faking anything. Like, we're there witnessing it.
That's one of the things I like about your show. It doesn't seem like okay, everything's set up. Here's where it's going to happen. You know,
right?
Those are my favorite shows and episodes of all the shows like this. Is when it's spontaneous, when you aren't looking, and more often it's when the camera's facing the opposite direction.
Yes, that's
unfortunate. Yeah, but that happens a lot. Yeah, but ours is legit. It's real. I mean, sometimes you're going to see some heavy duty action, and sometimes not.
Yeah, we have on one of our episodes where Genny's waiting for some stuff, and then sometimes I'll catch things though when I go back and watch them. Like, that's why we review footage, because sometimes they'll say something and you'll see an orb go by, and then nobody saw that. Like, because it's dark, it's pitch dark. It's usually 1 or 2 in the morning. We're tired. We don't catch everything. So, there's always at least something, but there's most stuff happens off camera. If we had like a huge budget, we could put cameras everywhere, but who's to say that the spirits wouldn't say, I'm out?
And I think that's when they know, when the camera's off, that's when they start
100%. Or when there's too many people around. Like, I mean, that's really intimidating. As an introvert, I would knock them out if I were a ghost.
Right?
As many people as there are.
She's like, I'm out. I'm only at Skinwalker on the weekend.
Yeah, only on the weekends, only around my son.
I had an incident happen to me back home when I still lived in Corpus. And so a friend and I, he was a skeptic, and after that night he wasn't a skeptic anymore, right? So something happened, and later on we went and told all the guys. So sure enough, like 6 guys, we all show up and stay in the room, and they're like, nothing's happening. I'm like, how about we all leave and you stay by yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. At that Yorktown, my boyfriend came along for behind the scenes, and that's when I knew he believed, because we all went outside to take our pictures, and he was like, I'm coming out too.
Right?
And I was like,
he's like, don't leave me.
Yeah. Like, you're scared, huh?
Right?
That stuff, it's hard to explain it to those who don't believe, and I just like, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what you believe. I know what I saw. I know what I see. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But it's staring at you right now.
Right? Oh yeah. We've all had those experiences like that. I've come out of this, like, I've always been a believer, but even stronger in believing that, getting closer to my faith, and knowing that I have to have a strong faith base to be able to, in case there is something dark. Like I said, that Yorktown, I should have been more prepared. I knew that at that point I still was skeptical, going, because before everyone got there, like I said, or otherwise I would have told people don't come. I sat there and it was a good feeling. It was odd. I saw a nurse from the residual haunting, which was neat. She was literally as if on duty. And I went, this is so cool. It's going to be a great night. I was like, if it's residual, we'll at least see a residual. And I kept watching her just walk, and it's residual. They don't interact with you, but it was neat. So I was like, oh, and everything was nice and calm. And then the sun set. And it all changed.
Yeah.
And then SPI showed up, and it's almost like they were ready to fight them. It's like because they do a lot of demon extraction, a lot of things, they're the pros, we're in just as like viewers. I feel like we're on the sidelines, and they come in and that's what they do. That's their occupation. And then I guess they felt threatened by that because it was the second their car pulled up, it went different energy. I was like, they were ready. And I was like, oh crap. It didn't help that it got to be 19 degrees either.
No,
oh my God,
it was so freezing.
Cold. I was wearing fleece lined leggings and I was freezing. And Philip's truck wasn't working.
Oh,
remember?
Yes.
The heater in my boyfriend's truck just at that place stopped working.
Yep.
And that
was it.
Interesting
and
too.
then as soon as we left, it was fine. It was the weirdest fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When we got there, the caretaker did not have the key to the lock. He said he has never lost a key to a lock ever. And he goes, this has to be you guys. He goes, y'all are going to have a heck of a night. He goes, we're all getting stuff from y'all. And I was like, oh, man. Like I said, I agree with them. It's super exciting. If it didn't have that dark stuff that I knew that would come after me, like, especially now I have a precognitive bias of what it's done to me. I think they would be better to go than me because
I'm down to.
I would go.
Yes, I would.
So I'm like, I'm
be like just warmer.
Yeah, it has.
God.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that place has no electricity.
And it gets really cold in there.
Yeah. Well, it would. Yeah, we would. What month was that? February.
January.
Yeah.
Is when that cold front hit. So it was an Arctic cold front.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what a coincidence!
I think that's what started up, though. I swear to you, I don't know why spirits like it cold, but that's why they have spooky season. It's supposed to be a little bit colder. I don't know if they just that energy thrives in more cold weather. Like I've always wanted to do it's hard to do scientific research with something that goes outside of science. If that makes sense. But I would love to know, why do spirits like it cold? Why do they want, why is it more strong in October? Or why is it when a full moon we have this?
Yeah. Well, that energy doesn't die. I think that is science. So that's what we know they're real.
It's true.
Well, isn't something going on in October, like a full moon, October 31st, and then the 13th? There's I don't know. It's
and full
moons
have energy too.
Yeah,
if they control the tides, and we are 60% water.
There you go.
And there's that makes fucking sense. And also ask any hospital, any doctor, anybody.
True.
There's more accidents on the full moon. Any insurance adjuster, there is facts behind this. If you don't want to believe it, it's because you don't want to believe it.
Exactly. Yep. Everybody I've talked to in the medical field say that's true. They don't need anything to prove it. They've seen it. So.
I don't want to believe I'm in my 30s, but it's true.
But she looks like she's in her 20s.
Thank you.
All you do is look up under any findings for Aleister Crowley and see what you can find on that, because a lot of that stuff, they're not publishing that stuff for some reason, but they have a lot of findings, a lot of connections with NASA and other places.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to say that?
We went to a place in Florida where they did that testing about remote viewing. So they know there's something to it, or they wouldn't have rented out a building for the government to test it.
And police hire psychics.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
you don't want to believe it, but...
Yep.
Okay.
I collaborated on a case not long ago with the police to help find somebody that they thought was missing. So it was something. Oh, I guess I didn't tell you guys.
No.
It was a while back. There was, I don't know if y'all saw that, there was a guy in the Woodlands who everybody kept saying he's missing. And you see video footage of.
He was a fairly young man.
Yeah. And they all kept looking in the woods, and I tried to email them. It's like, how do you say almost like a
yeah?
Hey. I was like, hey, please stop looking in the woods. He's alive. He's at his girlfriend's house. Please leave the wife alone, because they were accusing the wife of being a murderer. He
was at his girlfriend's house and he had a wife?
Yeah.
Oh,
and a new baby.
He should have been dead.
And a new baby. And I was like, so I had emailed them and got in contact with them. They said, thank you for submitting your tip, this and that. And so that was part of.
Oh, I didn't know you were part of that.
I got to be part of that. It was really weird, though, because I didn't know how to start off. And at first they were just like, wait a minute. But then they were taking it very seriously. How do you know not to look in the woods? Then I'm like, oh, now it's not like I'm a murderer.
I'm not a suspect.
I was like, no, he's alive. I was like, he's alive. He's at his girlfriend's house. I was like, please leave the wife alone. I was like, please, divert your attention from her. He's at his girlfriend's house. I was like, it was just upsetting me, because every time I saw on the news, it's like these things would flash before my eyes and I would see it. And I saw him with this other girl, and I'm like, that's not the lady that was in the picture. That's got to be a girlfriend.
I did not know that, Angela.
Freaked me out.
I'm not going to say that it would have been best if you were dead, but I'm going to say.
But he's going to be out there.
I mean, if he fakes his death with his girlfriend,
that's you got a new baby
at
home?
coward.
Yeah.
What a little bitch.
He disappeared on his wife.
They
But
know
everyone called her a murderer.
Like imagine being at home with your new baby. Like, I murdered who?
Right? I was like, this lady got cheated on. Leave her alone.
She could murder him.
Like, right? I was like, she's going to
blame postpartum.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I was already
cheated on me. Like, right? The fuck?
Didn't they know that Anastasia is the one with the dead bodies? Didn't they?
Right? Like, didn't they know? That's not Anastasia. That was the skinwalker. And then now
well, that's an skinwalker. I have no dead bodies. I have no skeletons.
Genny would put the animals to go, hey, go scent, catch the scent on that.
Yeah, but she's right. Police even trust psychics and things like that. There's something to it. I've worked with a lady and talked to her and actually learned a lot from her, but she works with the FBI. So I'm learning from other psychics. Oh, that's man. Neat. But that's the thing is that I didn't tell her anything about me. She just stopped me and grabbed me and goes, give me a reading. And I went, who are you? And she's like, give me a reading. Yeah, I'll tell you later. I'm like, okay. Wow. And then she paid me. And I was like, you can make money off of this? Oh, that's what? And I was like, never thought about that, but sure. She's like, I had just paid for a reading from her daughter. And then she went and handed me the money back and goes, nope, you give me a reading.
This was in Galveston.
Yes. Oh, okay. Galveston is so much spooky energy. Oh my gosh.
You're going to be the new Miss Cleo?
No. I swear it drains me so bad when I do it. So I started doing readings professionally for a while. And I started doing it on TikTok, and I started doing it from my home. And then, I won't give away anything to protect people's privacy, but a lady came to my house and said that I think someone's about to kill me. And it's like, I didn't want that.
What do you do?
And she's like, by the way, he has a tracker on my car. And I'm like, your car is
Have you called the cops?
And I was like, your car is here. And so I was like, I think I'm going to stop doing this. So I stopped doing readings
because
I
don't think you need a psychic. I think you need a restraining order.
Right?
Yes. I mean, tell the cops.
Luckily for her, I did not see her death. I did not see him killing her. I just saw him making her life a living hell. But, I was like, you just need to get out of that relationship. But I did see that if she pushed or kept on, that he would get more paranoid and keep following her. So I was like, oh crap. So I stopped doing all that stuff. So I could do it, but it's just too much. With my health and my lupus and all that stuff, I'd be like totally drained.
That's probably pretty draining. So the next thing I wanted to ask you, ladies, is season 2. Anything you want to let us know about season 2? When is it starting? When's the audience can get to hear about any of that upcoming stuff?
If everything goes how it should go, because we are like slam packed, still trying to get the last little bit put together, because the editing, because there's so much ghost hunting, you have to go through all of it. Takes hours and hours and hours. So hopefully the end of September, beginning of October, around that time frame. So that should be the debut. And like I said, we'll start. Like I said, we're gonna start off really good. We're gonna keep hitting those peaks and those valleys, and then we're gonna end with the big bang, which will be Yorktown.
I'm excited to watch it. That looks pretty. Well, from what y'all told me, exclusive on my GhostCast here. They give us a little bit of a little drips here. No, is there any questions you guys have? How can people reach you if they're wanting to watch your show? On what platforms and how y'all available?
We're on all the social channels, but you can always go to ghosthuntingbeauties.com. YouTube is where we host the full episodes, behind the scenes. TikTok and Instagram will give a lot of teasers and a lot of good content. So even if you're interested in the paranormal, we have a lot of paranormal content on there. And everybody who's there for the beautiful ladies, we have pictures of them. We're out and about doing things. Me and Issa, who is new to season 2, she does a lot of cons. Like she's at the Michigan Paracon right now, the big one. She's literally hanging out with the big people right now. And she's like, by the way, send me that trailer. And I was like, gotcha. So I sent her the trailer. So she's out there talking about it. We plan on, like I said, it's going to be better than season 1. But find us on all the social channels. But 2 full episodes are YouTube.
Nice.
Go to the website.
Yes, website has all the stuff. They'll link you there.
Awesome. Any questions for those of us up here at My GhostCast?
Oh man, I don't know. Do we have any questions?
Did we take up too much time?
We'll do a part 3.
Right. Yes. Right.
Appreciate you having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Nah, ladies, thank y'all so much. I've been excited to interview y'all, and big fan out here. I do promote you guys over here on the side. I always tell them, hey man, go check these out. You know, I don't have as much time as I'd like, but now that I'm not coaching, I got more time. So
all right, all right.
I'm gonna get myself up and running, try to catch up to y'all.
There you go. Very nice.
Thank you
Ladies,
so much.
thanks again.
Yes, thank you.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, make a comment. Go check out their website. Check out their stuff. These ladies are awesome. Not only beautiful, I could say that now. I'm not a school, so, you know, beautiful ladies, funny, and they're genuinely interested in the paranormal. So it's actually a good combination that you rarely find. Thanks for watching, and don't be scared.
Thank you. Thank you.